TV.
I'm Keisha. I'm Aisha.
I'm Ashley Ann.
I'm Ashley D.
I'm Jazz.
And today's topic, you guys, is going to be a really, really good one. So, y'all, there has been a lot of things going on social media with a lot of power couples, a lot of different situations regarding love. We just had Valentine's Day, so a lot of people have been showing their true colors, y'all. But we actually want to come here and talk to you guys about heartbreak. How to get over a heartbreak, how to deal with a heartbreak, just enduring the different trials and tribulations of relationships and all of that, you guys. So this is going to be kind of real interesting to hear our opinions. So we're going to just go ahead and start with a little icebreaker. There are some couples that I wanted us to talk about. And the first couple is Kevin Hart and his wife. So if you guys do not know, Kevin Hart cheated on his wife while they were pregnant with their first child. And it was a huge, huge catastrophe on the internet, you guys. The other woman came to the internet and started spilling all the beans. And if you guys don't know a little bit of their backstory, a lot of people allegedly are saying that she, the current wife now, was the other woman to his previous marriage. But we're just going to say allegedly, y'all. But yeah, so he ended up cuffing the side chick and making her wifey. And then, of course, like they say, how you get a man is how you lose a man, and he did the same thing to his wife. So I want to just talk about, how do y'all feel about what Kevin did to her? Would y'all have taken him back? And yeah, let's go ahead and chat up.
Okay, well, first of all, cheating on you while you're pregnant is already ill, but don't. Child, this story is a mess.
Yes.
Okay, so just to run back to the beginning, the fact that he cuffs the other woman, that don't go thinking like that's gonna happen to you, because that is not. That's not
typical.
That's
I've I've always heard people say, don't ever think the man's gonna leave you for his man, because that's just never gonna happen. So I'm really shocked, because I just found this out, y'all. I didn't know she was allegedly the other woman.
That's why I said, are we sure that that's how it happened? Because I know the timeline could be like similar, but are we sure they were together, or
but that's what we're saying, allegedly. That's what we're saying, allegedly. A lot of people are speculating that she was actually the other
woman. And actually, Kevin Hart's first wife also said that she was the other woman. So she actually did say that. So.
But you know, a man girl is gonna always say that, even if like, you know, he was to break up with her, they'd be separated. As soon as if he move on, if he cheats and he moves on, it's always gonna be, oh, that was the other woman. But in reality, he could have also just not want to be with her no more.
I'm trying to figure out how this little bitty man got all this thing on.
But you already know these days, a lot, just like they've been talking about, which we're gonna get into a little bit later, how they're saying men with money, that's what's in. They're not really caring about the quality of the man. They're talking about the quantity of what's in his bank account.
Well, his first wife was down from the beginning, so she was a real one, because before the pain.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, but so that just brings us to the main heavy hitting question. The heartbreak that the first wife endured, he put the current wife through. It seems like they're doing really, really good based off their his
social media wise.
Yeah, social media wise, he did a documentary. He apologized publicly. Jazz is like, no, there's no way I'm gonna take a man back if he cheats, especially while I'm pregnant, and especially if that's my husband. She's the married woman. Ashley.
I
keep trying to think, like, if I was in her shoes, like, if I knew that I was the other woman, I would be like, well, damn, like.
Oh, you think it's your karma?
Yeah, it's my karma.
Oh, it's your karma for sure.
Like, well,
it's definitely karma.
So you think that's probably why she could have forgiven him?
Yeah.
Because
but see, with me, it would be so hard. I mean, I never been pregnant or married, so I don't know, but for me, it would be so hard to, like, be able to accept that, because, like, every time I look at you, like, I'm just seeing flashbacks, and then now it's also, I already have overthinking issues, so now everything you do, I'm gonna be like, well, damn, is he cheating on me now? Like, it's just, my mind gonna be crazy, because I can't even handle when things going good, really, so I can only imagine. I be overthinking, they know, so I can only imagine, like, losing my trust for somebody, like, it's just,
in the worst way. Yeah. In the worst way. And Aisha?
Yeah, I was about to say, I kind of agree with what everybody said, but I'm going to be honest, y'all, like, I try not to speak on things that I have not personally went through yet, but I just think that's a deal breaker for me. I cannot be with somebody that is doing that. And then to be pregnant and you're doing it, I don't know. But like I said, I have never been in that situation, but I just feel like when women carry kids, that's like the ultimate gift.
Mm-hmm.
The ultimate gift a woman can give to a man is a child.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but that's the ultimate to me. And so with that being said, it's like for you to go out and do that to me,
like why you
I
pregnant?
don't know. I just
And
think
y'all
I
already said
couldn't
y'all
do
going
it.
through all them hormones.
Yes.
So we already know, y'all, we gonna go ahead and just lay this out. I wasn't married, but if you guys don't know, my boyfriend did cheat on me while I was pregnant, and I did take him back. And for me, with the way I was feeling, all the hormones and everything I was going through, one thing I can say is I did respect the fact that he was honest about his lust. So it wasn't like, you know, we just went through a whole pregnancy and then I'm thinking one thing and then boom, bam, here's some infidelity. You didn't just lie to me the whole time. So I did respect that.
Right.
I still didn't get it because I'm like, but I'm pregnant though. Like, what do you mean? Like, there should be nobody else on your mind other than me, my emotions, catering to me, being there for me. It was very, very hard for me to endure that type of pain. It was a very hard pregnancy, like my first pregnancy with my twins. It was very hard. But for me, I think I was just so heavily engrossed with God and, you know, trying to get my body in order because I had miscarried. Like, I just couldn't really even focus on anything other than self. Like, I was really, really selfish at that time. And I could only really focus on me. I only thought about my kids. And I kind of wanted to detach myself away from that. Like, I didn't even want to process, like, going through cheating. Like, let's not even talk about cheating because I'm trying to carry these kids into the world. Like, I don't have time to be talking to you about no other women, no lust, no sex, none of that. So I kind of just wanted to focus on me because your babies feel all of that. So for me as a woman, I just kind of felt like my babies were more important, and we're going to just put this relationship on pause, and we'll run it back as soon as the babies come. So that's just what I did. But I know, y'all, a lot of people.
And that was your first heartbreak, too.
Yeah, right? And that was my first real heartbreak, which was a very hard heartbreak. But, you know, I was able to get through it. So.
And you know what, to add to that, I want y'all to go right now in the comments, and I want y'all to answer this question. Which do you think is harder, staying or leaving?
Yeah.
I'll try both.
Yes. And it's harder.
And also, I also want to say, like, even though you guys might not agree, or we even might not agree with Keisha's decision, you have to live your own life. Everybody has been through things. Everybody has took L's, everything. And I think it's crazy to just be like, to judge somebody on what they want to do. It's like, you gotta just worry about your life.
Okay, so our first couple, Kevin Hart, we come to a clear consensus that she probably just, like Ashley said, that she probably took that L because she felt like, dang, this my karma. So the next couple, well, who's another couple y'all can think of?
Aisha got one.
Aisha.
Okay, y'all, so here's another couple for y'all. So with Emily B and Fabulous. So as y'all know, little background with their situation, they've been together for years, okay? We've seen them on reality TV shows. We've seen them on social media. We know Fabulous. He's a rapper from, like, the mid-90s up until, so we know Fab. Everybody know Fab. And Emily has been his I'm just going to say love interest, because for a long time, he really wasn't even claiming her, and let's just be honest. So that's the start there. He wasn't really claiming her. Once they did the TV show, I feel like we were more so introduced to her. And then social media, Instagram is 10, 11 years old now. So with that being said, like Instagram, and now we like, oh, okay, we can put a face to a name. So with that being said, he recently just started posting her. I'm not sure if it's been a year or two, but he just started posting her his Instagram. And as y'all know, they've been together for years. They have kids with an S, and she does not have a ring. And for me, I'm just gonna start with me. I just think I would be straight. That's just me. I think I would be done because at some point you have to know your value. And if this is, I know he got money, he fab, but it's like, what else is he bringing to the table? You've been with him for years, and he hasn't made that commitment to you yet. So that's my stand on it.
I agree. She should have definitely been had her ring.
But
that's
what's
just like oh yeah, I'm about to get in that too.
Okay.
And then that's just like with the that Jim Jones guy too. That girl from
Chrissy.
Still won't marry her either. But also the deal breaker for me, for real, would have been like Keisha just said, the domestic violence. Like you hit me. I've never been hit before or anything, but I know if you hit me, I'm out because you do it once, you're gonna do it again. Yeah. And then it's like, yet alone if my dad finds out, my stepdad, my mom, my friends, they gonna kill me for going back to you for hitting me. Like, and I'm gonna hit back. I probably will lose, but I'm gonna But I ain't going down. And when you sleep, that's gonna really get you.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna have a whole plan. So,
because it's a
disheveled in the shower.
Yeah. What you think, Ash?
I'm with them. I just can't. Like, first off, like, how long they been together? Like 10 or 12 years, 13 years.
I didn't know that.
So at this point, it's kind of like she just got comfortable with like the situation she in, and that's never a good feeling. So I feel like she should have been left a long time ago. And the whole domestic violence thing, he knocked out her too.
Oh,
so
I didn't know
that. And her dad knew about it. I think she came to the scene.
Yeah, he was there. So that on top of everything else that she's been experiencing, I can't.
So he cheated and knocked her tooth out and won't give her a ring. Okay, so those his views.
I just can't, like, I'm very adamant. Like, if a man is not going to marry you if you are not, like if you just comfortable being and just his girl and not having no kind of, like, not having no plan and not saying, so are we gonna get married or like what's the next step? Like if you comfortable just like being there, he never gonna put a ring on your finger.
Yeah,
that's very
like
true.
these men need pressure. Like let alone like men need pressure. You gotta raise them just a tad bit.
I'm dead.
I agree.
Closed mouths don't get fed.
Yes. You are not gonna get what you want. I was very vocal about what I wanted.
Jazz
and
was very
baby,
vocal.
I got that shit.
Jazz had her timeline to the T.
Okay.
That is crazy. So, well, I don't want to really compare the celebrities and who's worse and who's, because like we said, like Ashley just said earlier, like we're not in those situations, so it's kind of hard to determine. Because me personally, I don't know if Emily wants the ring. Maybe she just is cool. Like some women don't want to be married. Some women think like that. I don't personally know, but if she does want the ring and she is just accepting the 13-year just situationship, like that alone, but more so just him putting his hand and taking a whole tooth out. Now I gotta go get a false tooth in my mouth. I'm gonna always look at that. And then you cheated, and then you want. It's like, hey, like what are you doing right? But like I said, I'm not in that situation, but that is kind of pretty messed up. So I'm glad that you said they're doing. He's posting her, and he's
Yeah, he's doing better. And just like even what you said about maybe she doesn't want to be married. But what I have seen, and y'all can please interject if I'm wrong, I feel like sometimes we love these men so much and they kind of coerce us into thinking we don't want that because they'll say things like, oh my God, that's not important.
It's
just
don't
paper.
Need a
title.
Yeah.
It's just social media.
You know our bond.
I need to get my money right.
I love you in real life.
What's up? Gotta be explained.
Exactly.
And all that stuff is
exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Sounds good.
But at the same time, that to me is manipulation to make us be like, oh, well, you know what? He do love me in real life. And it's like, no, show the world. I want you to show the world that you love me. Some women don't care, like Keisha said, but I feel like majority of us
they do
definitely care.
They definitely do. So okay, guys. So we just did the icebreakers. So now we're gonna go ahead and get into our actual topic. So actual experiences with our heartbreak. Who here has experienced a heartbreak? And what actually were you feeling when you went through this heartbreak? What emotions were you going through? We're just gonna kind of sort of spill it all for you guys and let y'all know.
All right, I'll go first. So the first little heartbreak experience I had, I feel like it was childish. It was high school. You dating. I was dating a basketball player, and I was just real sick. Like my stepdad thought I was gonna jump out the window or something. That first heartbreak, it makes you feel like you just can't breathe. Like I didn't take a shower for a week. It was bad. Like
it was like a movie.
It was bad. So, but that's kind of petty. But so a little bit after that, I got into my relationship. I was in a relationship for 5 years. I left him, so that wasn't really heartbreak. But when I really experienced like the game is when I got into this like situationship after I broke up with my 5-year relationship. And I felt like I was never his girlfriend, but I was still heartbroken. And I feel like that's okay. You can be heartbroken from a situationship. Yeah. And I feel like people don't understand that, especially people who like haven't been in that predicament. But like I was real, like Jazz can tell you, like I was real naive. Like I didn't know the game. I didn't know anything because I was so used to being with somebody who cared about me. Like my boyfriend for 5 years, I didn't have to worry about cheating. I know he loved me. Like we had our we weren't compatible. We outgrew each other, but I knew he was there for me. Yeah. So when I got in that situationship and this other girls is, not only having sex with me, having sex with other people, I didn't really know how to deal with it. I didn't really know how to leave. And I feel like that really set the stone for like kind of like how I am now. Like when I kind of figured out the game, like, and I was like, okay, it's not only me. I feel like I started having to be like that too. So my heartbreak, some people when they go through heartbreak, it makes them like, you know, real sad, never want to deal with nobody again. Like I always tell, if I'm giving advice to Keisha, I'm giving advice to my friends, I'd be like, you know, treat people how they treat you. Yeah. Okay, they treat you good, you treat them good. They run a game on you, you run a game on them. So that's kind of like what heartbreak happened to me in my experience. Because I felt like I always like was given so much, and that's who I am. Like I have a good heart, and I still am like that. But now I know how to like, you can't give your good heart to anybody because they will take advantage of you. You know, you do all this, they not gonna say nothing because that's just kind of like what you're settling for. But back then I really didn't know. And Jazz would try to tell me, but also at the same time, which Jazz talked about, Jazz never really experienced heartbreak, so she didn't really understand what I was going through because she never been through it. So it was kind of like, I felt like I was real close to this guy, and we were really close, but you know, he had other stuff going on, so I don't know.
Right. I'll talk about my heartbreak. And I feel like I've had my heart broken maybe 2 times in my life, but the one that set the tone, kind of like what Ashley was talking about, that set the tone for how I saw relationships and how I saw myself as a woman while I was a child at the time, but inevitably how I grew up into as a woman was my very first, my first everything, when I was in high school. He broke my heart. He basically left me for a girl, and again, y'all, this is my first, and y'all can read between the lines of what I mean by that. And I was heartbroken. Like that was the ultimate. Like I don't think any heartbreak I'll ever have for the rest of my life will top that, because I feel like it took me years to get over that. And I also feel like it hurt more because it's different from you and somebody breaking up, because you know, they like how your guy was, I guess he was doing whatever and he just wasn't trying to be committed to you. It's much different when somebody breaks up with you and getting a whole relationship with somebody else. That's another level, to me, that was another level heartbreak, because I had to literally see that. And I think Facebook was the popping social media at the time, so I'm just on Facebook, and I definitely was scrolling and just looking at they love, and I couldn't believe he left me. And it was hard, y'all. Like I'm not gonna lie, like it was very hard for me to get over it. But I definitely can say, like from that point, like I said, that was, to me, that was the ultimate. I don't think I could ever get my heart broken like in that magnitude again, because it's just I have built up some type of barrier, I guess, to protect myself.
It makes you not want to let your guard down.
For me, my first real heartbreak, I would say, I was in college. We were together for about 2, maybe almost 3 years. But I found out he cheated on me. And this is how I found out. So he came home drunk one night.
Sorry.
I mean, he came home drunk one night and he like went to go shower or whatever, but his phone kept like beeping and beeping and beeping. So then like I, don't look through phones, y'all, because when you go looking, that's when you always find something. But
you have a heart attack.
But so I looked and it was just this girl, and they were just going back and forth and like sending pictures and like all kinds of stuff like you can't even imagine. But for me, that was my first real heartbreak, because I felt like, honestly, I felt like we was about to, like we was gonna get married down the road, we was gonna do this, that, and the other, like, and for me, I love hard, like when I'm in a relationship. So for me, that's why it hurt so bad, because like I felt like, well, I did all this for you. I pretty much like put not my all into a relationship, but I gave a lot of myself in a relationship. So for me, that was mine.
Wait, so did you stay? Did you leave?
Girl, I left eventually, but it was kind of like that back and forth. Like, well, I don't know, maybe we could try to work it out. But every time, like, I just kept thinking about it. So, like,
your first heartbreak, you don't leave. That's naive for everybody to go, well, I'm out my first heartbreak. You don't leave like that. It's like, you go back and forth a little bit. But then it'll finally click one day. And you'll be done.
Okay, Jazz,
So, for me, I never actually been, like, heartbroken. Like, eating ice cream, falling out, crying, and showering or whatever Ashley said. But I guess I never really let myself get there. Like, and like in high school, I guess in high school I kind of like, I did date this one guy in 10th grade, and like like he cheated on me, but it was like puppy love. It wasn't like real. But like I never like let myself get there. Like Aisha said, like you really had like a barrier. Like I think I've always had that. Cause I seen a lot of I seen my friends get and having like bad relationships. So I just never wanted that for myself. So I think I've always like, cause my love like it's. Like I'm ready. Like I don't love for dating. I love for marriage. Like that was always my thing. So yeah.
Lucky you.
Lucky Jazz. Because that it hurts.
I wish if I could go back, if I could redo my life, I absolutely. I'm gonna tell my kids too. When God bless me with some. Yeah. Do not get serious. Don't get serious with anybody until you are 25 and older. Yeah. I'm literally gonna tell my son and my daughter that if I can go, let me have.
But older people used to always tell us that. Well, I don't know about y'all.
Actually, that is
like
true.
Growing up, I used to always hear every time because everybody used to see like how hard I used to love high school. My relationship, I took serious like I was married. Like people like, girl, my peers used to like, girl, you just taking it too far now. But that's just how I was. Like I'm a relationship type of girl. Right. So I never, and I'm a committed type of girl. So I never really got the whole cheating. I never cheated. So I never got that because I just couldn't, like I used to be like, but we love each other. Why would you do, like, that's how I was. So I think, I don't even want to talk about my heartbreaks in high school and stuff because they so petty. They don't even compare to the heartbreak that I just endured because those, like you said, those are like more puppy love type of thing. And you don't really realize the magnitude of life when you really have kids involved and so many different factors. And for me, everybody knows publicly I just went through like the worst heartbreak of my entire life. And I'm still dealing with it. I'm not over it whatsoever. And being that this is someone who, like, for one, this is the first guy who I have really been with. Like, this is my first adult boyfriend. My last boyfriend, I was 14, 15 years old, tops. Like, petty type of stuff. No sex. I didn't even lose my virginity until I was 23. So, and even outside of that, if you all don't also know, I dated women from 15 to 23. So I when I lost my virginity, I was making a decision as an adult because I really wanted to see, like, do I really like women? Because the way I move in these relationships, it's not giving me like
you were committed
like,
to that.
Yeah, I wasn't like it wasn't really me, and I was battling that for so long to live in my truth. And I kind of felt like, to be honest, y'all, after I got out of my first girl relationship for about 3 years, like I just felt like society was pressuring me. Like everybody just was like, oh, you gotta find a new girlfriend, and I didn't even open myself up to finding another guy when I did like guys still. And then I got in that relationship. Anyways, after that toxic relationship ended, I kind of just wanted to see, do I have some compatibility with men? And I found a decent guy. I don't have nothing negative to say about him. It was like just a situationship. And then I met, I already knew Jeremy, but then I met my boyfriend. And you guys, when I say, woo, child, men are so different. And just everything that I've experienced with their heartbreak has taught me so much about self-love and self-worth and, standing on my own, being independent, being firm, and who I am and who I identify as, especially when I have, my daughters looking up to me and looking at our relationship, because regardless if we're together or not, they're looking at us to depict how they allow men to treat them. And they're getting to an age where they're getting very, like, they're two, the oldest are 2, and then of course we have a 6-month-old. And although they're not teenagers or anything like that, but every little thing counts, every moment counts. And this heartbreak has just taught me, just being, left hanging while you're carrying life. It's just a feeling that it's just like I just felt so alone during it. And I don't really want to get emotional because I'm really trying to just move on from this, because it's just been
salute you a lot. Like,
it's been so hard.
It's crazy.
So hard because, just like how Ashley said, like, she didn't really understand like how it was to be in a situationship and another guy is in 3 different situationships. Just imagine you being in a committed relationship and then they're in a situationship with somebody else. So it's like, what? How you committed and in a situationship type of thing? And then women are emotional creatures. So now you have another woman's emotions tied into something, and then dishonesty and then disloyalty and everything. But I feel like this process has taught me so much, and me maturing and growing and really understanding what I went through, what I experienced, and what I'm not going through no more, and what I'm not going to tolerate no more has definitely been therapeutic for me, to say the least. But you know, I feel good. This has definitely been hard, and if I could go back in time, I would have changed a lot of things, but I can't, and I just got to roll with the punches and learn from my mistakes and just, you know, keep it pushing.
And just like Ashley said, Keisha, like one thing she mentioned that is very true, we have to remember this is your first relationship.
Yeah.
Like how I just told you guys about my first relationship. Like I can't remember everything verbatim, but I stayed around too. And if he hadn't left me, I probably would still be with him, because that was my first relationship. I didn't know what, like I hadn't gotten there yet to where I'm at now, where I'm like zero tolerance.
Right.
I hadn't developed zero tolerance yet. And I feel like you have to have, in my opinion, and y'all let me know how y'all feel in the comments, I feel like you have to have multiple relationships to build up zero tolerance. To me, Jazzlyn, you're a unicorn, as I've said about your marriage and everything else. But I feel like you have to go through that over and over and over, and each time picking away. Okay, I don't like this. I don't want that. I'm straight on this. And I just feel like Keisha hadn't got to that point yet. I'm just gonna be honest. I don't think she's gotten there yet, because this is like her second or third or second relationship, and her first with like a man in a long, time frame. So I mean, again, can't judge people based off of what they do, how they do. We don't have to sleep with him. That's not our man. We're not losing sleep behind it. How can I judge somebody off their situation when, like, I don't know. You just don't know, for real.
My biggest thing, like for y'all, like what Aisha was saying, like you have to take different things from different parts. Just remember, y'all, never like settle. Like, like take those pieces and grow. And like Keisha, I don't want you to think like that's how it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
Like remember who you are, putting on those big girl panties, and just like do what you gotta do for yourself, because it's real love out there.
Yeah.
Like just remember, a man is gonna love you. You gonna know when a man loves you. He gonna do what he needs to do. Like a man is gonna be a man, and I think age has a lot to do with it. Cause like what David said, if I would have met him maybe half a year ago, he would have been a different person, and we wouldn't have been like his maturity level wouldn't have. So it's all about timing. Like who's to say, like the people you never know when they're ready for you. I think that's what it is.
And I think it's funny that you say the back in time thing, because I remember before Jeremy and before the guy before that too, I think when Keisha was first single, I remember, because I was going through the phase of, okay, now I'm dating, now I get it. I remember I wanted her so bad to date, because I used to be like, really like you too, Keisha, like really like, love, even if I wasn't in a relationship, I'm acting like I'm in a relationship, all that. But if you experience dating and you get to like, and dating, a lot of people get this misconstrued. Dating doesn't mean sleeping with everybody.
Absolutely.
I'm talking about dating, you getting to know people, you getting to know what you will tolerate, what you won't tolerate, you get to know who you are as a person. You're dating high value men now. It's those things play a factor. And just like Aisha said, so I'm so glad that I got to experience that, because it's like now I know, okay, I like this, I don't like that. And that's okay to find out, what you want in life, and who you want your partner to be. And that's what I was always telling you. I mean, we can't go back in time now. But I was like, that really plays a factor. And also how you said about the parents thing, raising your daughters for you guys to have kids, that plays a big factor, because I feel like a lot of my strength, because like my mom, this is her third husband, and a lot of people look at it like, oh, that's bad. But my mom's somebody who, she don't tolerate shit. Like my dad, I love my dad, he's the best dad in the world, but he was a player, and he's a cheater. And my mom said, I'm out. She just wasn't happy, and she didn't stay. Like, cheating isn't the only deal breaker. If you're not happy, if you're not compatible, you can leave. You're gonna find somebody who's gonna love you for you. Yeah. And now my mom, this is the happiest I've ever seen her been. Her other marriage, I saw her argue a lot, and just wasn't happy. And now I see her happy. And so I think it's okay. Like, if you're not happy, you can leave, and somebody's gonna love you for who you are.
Yeah. And just to build on top of that, like when you said about your mom, I kind of saw that like within myself, like in my own heartbreak. Like I learned so much from that relationship. Like now looking back on it, like we used to argue all the time. Like I would see like things in myself that I didn't like just from that relationship, and that wasn't like normal to me. So I felt like you kind of like learn yourself too, as a woman. Not just like what you want in a man, but you learn like who you are like as a woman.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you think toxic is like how it's supposed to be. Then you get in a healthy situation, you're like, like that's. You be telling your friends like, dang, is this how it's supposed to be? Like, is it okay to be smiling? Like, no, literally, that's how I be like, girl.
Like that.
For real.
I'm dead.
So yeah, just like how we had talked about earlier with some of the other celebrities and how Jazz was just saying like age and timing, a lot of the characteristics of the public relationships we see with celebrities and public figures and their youth and then them transforming into better men, like how Gabrielle Union and Dwayne Wade had their, you know, issues in the beginning of their, were they married at that time when he had the baby?
No, they actually on a break.
Yeah, they were on a break because they were
still
they were younger, they were trying to experience, and then he ended up having a baby on her while they were on break with one another. And then, you know, as he matured and she matured, they came back and like timing, maturity. Some people, like girls, mature much faster, and then me and my relationship, I'm like me since I'm already a commitment type of woman. And also I learned, no shade to you know, anybody from Jeremy's past or anything, but I noticed that some people treat you how they were used to a lot of other people allowing them to treat them. And I noticed I was a challenge for him a lot because I know he was so like, dang, I'm so used to, you know, just getting away with anything, or you know, women just fall out and just do whatever for me. Like you really making this hard, and you really are standing firm with that. And then obviously, you know, with him not being quite there yet, you know, we just continue to bump heads with a lot of things because although you know, you all may see like, oh, he did this, he did that. Behind the scenes, I'm sitting here like, I'm not tolerating this, I'm not dealing with this, I'm not blah, blah, blah. But if someone is not mature as you, or someone hasn't really developed a sense of what's the understanding for what a committed relationship looks like, those things happen. Like that's when you have to reflect in your relationship. Sometimes you may be really compatible, but you're seeing like a lot of toxic type of traits going on in a relationship, and it's most of the time you got to sometimes look at timing. We talked about the heartbreaks. We talked about how we feel dealing with our personal experiences with our heartbreaks, and then, you know, just understanding the emotions that happen while you're dealing with it, and you really processing those emotions. I know for me it was really hard, but counseling is something that I really stand by and I swear by, and you know, that's just something for me that I've used to help me with my emotions. And then sometimes you can challenge your partner, especially if they are the type that says like, I want to change, I want to da da da. Sometimes you don't really change when you look at yourself in the mirror and you don't see the problems or you don't see the flaws, and you get so complacent with your own. Like I've been living with Keisha longer than anybody been living with Keisha, so I'm used to how Keisha is. And somebody else may look at Keisha and who I'm in a relationship with and be like, Keisha, you need to work on that, or such and such, you need to work on that. So sometimes I would challenge you guys out there to tackle counseling, to deal with your emotions and problems, journaling, prayer, surrounding yourself with close friends and family. And what are some other things you all can think of for emotions?
One thing I do, because I'm not really big on, like when I'm going through stuff with my significant other, I'm not too big on sharing it, and the only reason why is because I feel like, especially just with judgment comes into play. It's like, and Keisha and Ashley, because I talk to them the most out of everybody, like they'll tell you, like, I'm very big on, if you're gonna stay. Like you don't have to go back and forth with anybody about it. If you're gonna leave. I think what makes the lines blur or kind of messes up relationships is when you're telling your friends, you're telling your parents what's going on, but you staying. It's almost like, don't say. I just have learned that if I'm not gonna leave, I'm not gonna say nothing about it. But it's like sometimes you do want to have friends that are like-minded that you can talk to about your situations, and that's just like I have one friend that I feel like I can confide in her, and she's not gonna make me feel bad in making a decision of staying or leaving. She just gonna be like, okay, well, this is what you should do, but it's totally up to you, because I've been in situations where I told somebody something about something somebody did to me, and now it's just every time, like, why you still with him? Like, it's like you don't want to, it's like you want to tell your friends and family stuff, but it's like, dang. So I just feel like my advice in reference to what she asked is just find that person that you can talk to that is understanding and, again, is going to tell you the truth. I'm not saying lie to you and tell you what you want to hear, but not be so judgmental in the fact of, because like I'm going to say it one more time, I know y'all tired of me saying this, like, we don't have to lay with them. Like, that's not it's not really your problem. Don't make it your problem, if that makes sense. But help your friend to be there for your friend. So that's my tidbit.
So I guess for me, I just want to say also, it's okay to not be okay. A lot of times you go through stuff and you feel like, oh, I got to put on this facade. I got to act like I'm happy. It's okay to, like, be down. And I know my dad taught me this little rule. I don't know if it's a 24-hour or a 48-hour rule, but I kind of like to go about it. If I'm ever sad about a guy, like, I give myself 24 hours, you know, to cry it out, to be down, to be depressed, to vent. But after that, I feel like I try to get myself up because 9 times out of 10, you crying over that guy and he's not worried about you. He's not thinking about you. He's living his life. He's in somebody else's DMs. So I try to keep telling myself that. And then I have my friends that I can talk to and they can kind of, if I'm feeling weak, they can snap me back to reality. Yes. And another thing I like to do, if you have like homeboys that are really your homeboys, not like, you know, that fake stuff, like your real brothers, I can talk to them and they give me logical advice. A lot of times you can go to your friends and, you know, girls speak with their feelings. Yeah. But guys, they give you advice logical. And also, they don't care. If you go back, my bro's not going to care. They give me like the real advice that they should. They don't care about like the tea or what I want to do, if I want to lay with him. They're not going to judge me. And a lot of times their advice be right. Like they really lead you to the right way. So if you have like guys in your life, that's good. Maybe not your biological like brother or your dad because that's kind of biased. But like my friends like Justin, Tyrus, Brian, and my other friend Sean, like they give me good advice that I can follow. Or, you know, if I'm at Jazz House, they would give me good advice. You know, guys really, so that's kind of like, I'm the person I like to get advice, otherwise I get in my head, and sometimes I make scenarios up that don't make sense. So
I just thought, I'm not a fan. You're crazy.
It's true though.
So, just be careful with what advice you take in. Like, take all advice with a grain of salt. And then you can't get advice from that friend who isn't unhealthy, who just being unhealthy and doesn't even like understand. Like, you can't take advice from someone who's not happy with themselves because they don't know how to even help you. But like, it just depends on like the situation you're in. If Ashley or any of y'all ever getting beat on, now that's not something you just gonna sit there chill on. Like, no, you need to go ahead and let me know. My friends, like, y'all are good about like venting to each other, and because I'm not one to like, I'm a no judge friend. Like, it's a safe space. So I feel like it all depends on the friend you have to deal with. Like Aisha said, find that one friend or 2 friends or family. I wouldn't say put because your family's not going to forgive that man. They're not gonna He's not going. If you tell your family so and so cheated on you or this. When they find out, that's it. Like, they are not going to.
Because my family had no idea anything until I was like, hey, so we just took a DNA test, and they're like, what? When this was like, I was big, because before in my relationship, I used to tell my mom and me and my sister, we are best friends. Like, I'm so close with them, and I used to tell them everything. But those are my younger relationships, so I guess it didn't really matter. But, you know, when I, affirm, like, I'm really happy, I'm content, and me and Jeremy, outside of the infidelity, we actually didn't have any issues. And we just always were compatible as friends. Like, we didn't have any problems to vent about. So when that actually happened, I was like, oh my gosh, like, what the? Like, I just felt like, I was going insane because I didn't know who to go to for advice. I felt like a failure. Like, I felt like, okay, I'm failing at this relationship and I'm pregnant. Like, people are going to look at me like I just
And just because somebody cheat on you, that doesn't mean, like, how you said a failure. Like,
that
has nothing to do with you when a man cheats. That's
why
people
always say, I told you so. Like, you should have got married before you had kids. I didn't want to have to keep hearing that I told you so. Like, I told you so. Like, no one really wants to hear that when you're going through your situations. But what I will say, being a social media influencer, a lot of people, I've noticed, they look at other couples on social media and you feel like when you see those pictures and you see those vlogs or videos and you think, oh, this power goals, everybody's just so happy. No one really puts their problems and tribulations on social media. So that's just what I challenge you. But Ashley, you have any?
For me, personally, I don't like getting advice from people because I feel like a lot of people, they'll give their 2 cents of what they would do, but like, you're not in my shoes, like, you're not living my life, you're not in my relationship. So I don't really, no offense, but like, I don't want your advice. Like, I don't want to hear your opinion because a lot of people, they can give their opinion like, oh, I would leave. And like, say, like, what if you didn't really want to leave or something, but that's gonna like drive you to leave, or vice versa, like you wanted to leave, but they talk you into staying or something.
That's true.
So for me personally, I keep my problems in my relationship and I talk about it with my partner. I don't really like a whole bunch of like outside noise. That's just me.
That's good. And she's
good.
telling the truth because Ashley, we always go to Ashley advice because she's logical though. Ashley's a good logical advice giver. I will say that.
That's that Leo.
Yeah.
Especially when you're married, you gotta keep your stuff in the house.
Yeah.
In the house.
Yeah. It's Especially when you're married, sacred. Listen to Jazz.
But when certain things that get to a different level, then you might need to talk to somebody. Like when things get bad, I don't think everything should always stay in. Sometimes you need to
have an outlet.
Yes.
A healthy.
It just gotta be a healthy person.
Yeah.
Even if nobody's gonna tell you, oh, you need to go, because you don't want to hear it right now. Sometimes you need a person to just listen.
Yeah,
like,
and listening. Yeah. And another thing, a piece of advice before we wrap this up. One of my best friend Rebecca, who's in Miami, y'all know my school sister. That's my bestie. I love her. She's a Capricorn. She gives the best advice. But one thing she always does, whenever I call her, I'm about to get so emotional. She's just so perfect at this. She always says, but when I tell her something is going on, she always says, do you want me to just listen, or would you like me to give you some advice? She always says it every time, and it makes me stop sometimes because. And I forget, and she does it every time, and I just still get taken aback because she's just such a healthy advice giver. She's just so honest. Like, she's always so honest with me about, well, Keisha, I'm listening to the situation, and this is what, in my personal opinion, about you, or you're getting too caught up with this, and this is what really the big picture is, or, that is not a healthy thing. Like, she always, I'm like, girl, you should be a counselor for real, but she's really good. But now, whenever people come to me about stuff, I always say, I start trying to do that as well, so I don't have to put my opinion. Because sometimes people don't really want to be burdened with that. They just want to be heard and vent real quick. And then, you listen, you let them cry it out, and then you talk about something else. And then it was good. It was therapeutic. So that was something I love about my best friend.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
So you guys, that's wrapping this up for this topic. I hope you guys really, really enjoyed this. If you guys have any experiences that you all would like to share or some advice that you all would like to give, please put it in the comments below. I know you guys love to read through it and get inspired and motivated. But our biggest takeaway, you got to live your life. You get one life to live, you guys. And you got to live your life for you. So have healthy relationship, healthy friendship. Just create some boundaries. And if you're going through things, you guys, just pray about it and get through it the best way that you can. Time does heal all wounds. And I used to hate when people told me, like, after time, like, time is going to get you through it. Time is going to get you through it. But I'm a walking testimony that, yes, you guys, time does get you through it. So, we love you guys.
Treat people how they treat you.